So what was this? If you want to work with the bulk data, if you want to work with the bulk set of data, we are going to use built-in ETL tools provided by the Salesforce. What is that built-in ETL tool? Data loader. What is that built-in ETL tool? Data loader. So what is this data loader? Data loader is a built-in ETL tool provided by the Salesforce. Data loader is a built-in ETL tool provided by the Salesforce. First, we will see how to install this data loader. Before we get into the advantages of this data loader, let us see how to install this data loader. Let me check it out. Already I have data loader on my system. Let me uninstall it. Look at the format. If you want to go with the data loader, how to install the data loader? Setup, administer, data management, data, setup, administer, data management, data loader. Then it is going to give you an option. It is going to give an option. Download the data loader for Windows, download the data loader for Mac. I told download the data loader for Windows. So I told download the data loader for Windows. Look at the navigation one more time. Setup, administer, data management, data loader, download the data loader for Windows. When you download, we are going to get exe file. What is the file we are going to get? Exe file. Basically, the data loader was built on Spring 2.x version. It was built on Spring 2.x. It is a exe file. It is going to be exe file. So what I need to do? Simply go back, click on run. It is the exe file. Simply click on run, agree, next. Exe file, simply give next and save. Then data loader is installed. We got the data loader installed. Right. Once the data loader is installed, once the data loader is installed, now the question is how to log into the data loader. If you want to log into the data loader, what are the steps that are involved? How to log into the data loader? Let me show you the navigation part. The hard copy, I have given the hard copy for you. Data loader hard copy is given to you. So let me open the hard copy. Look at the point. So how to download the data loader? Setup, administer, data management, data loader, download the data loader for. Now next question, how to install? Select the exe file, click on run, agree the terms, next and finish. Then, now when you are installing this data loader, sometimes you may get SSL configuration error. What is the error we are going to get? SSL. Sometimes. Okay. Sometimes you may get SSL configuration error. In case if you get that error, what should I do? Go to the Internet Explorer. Then you are finding here what? You are finding tools. Go to the tools. You are finding here Internet options. Then go to advanced. You scroll down. Finding it. Uncheck the SSL 2.0, uncheck the SSL 3.0, enable TLS 1.0, 1.1, 1.2. So you get that SSL error when SSL is enabled here. So what I need to do? Go to the Internet Explorer, go to the tools, Then internet options, advanced. Then we need to go with disable SSL 2.0, disable SSL 3.0, enable TLS 1.0, enable TLS 1.1, enable TLS 1.2. Then it is going to resolve the issue of SSL configuration. When we are going to do this, whenever we get a SSL configuration. So what should I do, boss? Enable TLS 1.0, 1.1, TLS 1.2, disable 2.0, 3.0. I hope I am clear. Okay. Then, once you are done with this, how to log into the data loader? Now we are done with this. Now the question is, how to log into the data loader? If you want to log into the data loader, what you will find here? Let us say click on it. When you click on it, it is asking authentication or password authentication. How many formats of authentication is there? Authentication or password authentication. When I said authentication, login, enter your username, password. Enter the username, password. Click on login. Now it has sent the verification code. Go to the registered email address. We get the verification code. Log into the registered email address. Access the verification code. Hello. Then enter the username, password. They send the verification code. I enter the verification code. Then you are able to log in successfully. Your login was successful. I can perform my operation. This is the first format. What is the first format we have given? Using authentication. Choose the environment type as production or sandbox. Provide the Salesforce credentials. Verification code will be sent to the email. Enter the verification code and click on Allow Access. This is the first format of logging in. It is authentication. No, I don't want to go with authentication. I want to go with other format. So what is the other format we have? Right. What is the other format we have? The second format what we have is password authentication. If you want a password authentication, what should I do? Go to the name, My Settings. Go to the name, My Settings, Personal. You are finding here what? Reset my security token. Then click on Reset Security Token. Look at the navigation again. Username, My Settings, Personal, Reset my security token, reset. Now it will send the security token to your email ID. Now we received security token. Right. If people have learned computer science, you have private key, public key with the triple DS algorithm, the same concept. Now it's a public key. We are taking this key. Right. Now we want to log into data loader. How to log into data loader? Let us see this. Export. Password authentication. Username. What is your Salesforce username? Batch294 at the rate of capital.com. What is your password? What is your Salesforce password? Salesforce 123. Salesforce 123 is my password, followed by security token. Whatever the security token we receive, that security token I have to give after the password. So Salesforce password plus security token. Salesforce password plus security token. Give it. Enter the Salesforce username, Salesforce password plus security token. Then, so what are the two ways of logging in? Second way of logging in using password. If you want a password, what is the format I have to use? Username, my setting, personal, reset my security token, reset. Then open the data loader. Username is Salesforce username. Password is Salesforce password plus security token. I hope you are clear. Then that is how you log into data loader. These are the two ways in which we have logged into data loader. Once you log into data loader, question is, what are the objects on which data loader will work? What are the objects on which data loader will work? Data loader is going to work on all the custom objects. On which objects the data loader is going to work? Data loader is going to work on all the custom objects. Data loader is going to work on all the custom objects. Data loader is going to work on all the custom objects. Data loader will work on all the custom objects. On which standard objects the data loader is going to work? Standard objects is going to work on lead, account, contact, opportunity, price, the two, user, task. What are the standard objects on which it can work? Lead, account, contact, opportunity, price book, product to, user, task, event. These are the standard objects on which data loader can work. Data loader will support the following standard objects. Data loader will support the following standard objects. Data loader will support the following standard objects. Which custom objects it is going to support? All the custom objects it is going to support. Okay, fine. That's what I have given here. What are the standard objects it is going to support? Lead, account, contact, opportunity, price book, product, event, task. Which custom objects it is going to support? All the custom objects. Right. If you use the data loader, how many records it is going to support? It is going to support 5 million records. How many records it is going to support? 5 million records. At a time we can insert, update, delete 5 million records. At a time we can insert, update, delete 5 million records. How many records we can work? 5 million records. At a time we can work with 5 million records. What is the format of the file it is going to support? It is going to support CSV file. What is the format? CSV, comma, separated value. What is the format of the file it is going to support? CSV, comma, separated values. Okay. Look at the format. Look at the format. I am creating a folder here to store all my files. Look at the file. What is the first thing that we are doing? I want to export. What is the format you want to do? Click on export. What I am doing? Click on export. Now in the customer object, go back to the customer. See how many records are there. How many records are there? There are 5 records. Out of 5 records, I deleted. Now, how many records are here now? Only 3 records. Go back to the data loader, export. What I am doing? Choose the object. Where you want to store the file? When you export, where you want to store the file? I want to store the file in a data loader folder. What is the file name? Extract.csv. Now, when you are exporting is what? You are taking the data from Salesforce to your desktop. What are the fields you want? I want ID, name, address, date of birth, annual revenue, type, city. I selected. What are the fields I want to export? I selected the fields, clicked on finish. When you clicked on finish, how many records are exported? How many records are exported? 3 records. How many records are exported? 3 records. What is the purpose of export? Whatever the data that is there in the Salesforce, we are getting the data onto your desktop. We are pulling the data from Salesforce into your desktop. Right. Now I am going for export all. When you say export all, what is the meaning of this export all? Look at the point. Choose the customer object. Where you want to store? Data loader extract file. Now what are the fields you want? Select the fields. Then click on finish. When you say export all, how many records came? 8 records. When you said export, only 3 records came. When you said export all, how many records we got? 8. Why? When you say export all, records which are there in the recycle bin, they are also exported. When you say export all, not only the data which is in object, the records which are in the recycle bin, they are also exported. When you say export all, records in the recycle bin are also exported. Export means data which is there in the object, only the data is going to be exported. When you say export all, records which are there in the object and the records which are there in the recycle bin, all of them are going to be exported. Export all. Export means data in the object. When you say export all, data in the object and the data in the recycle bin. Data in the object and the data in the recycle bin. I hope I'm clear. Export and export all. Look at the structure what I have. The first option. How do you export? Select the export option. Choose the object which you want to export. Specify the location of the extraction file name. Select the fields. If you want to give any condition, you can give the condition. Click on finish. Export all. Save. Select export all. Select the object. Select the location. Choose the fields. If you want to apply the filter condition, apply. Click on finish. What is the difference between export and export all? When you export, only the data in the object is going to be exported. When you say export all, data in the object, including the data in the recycle bin is exported. I hope you are clear. People have followed this? People have followed? Now, let us go to the next one. I want to insert the data. I want to insert the data. When I want to insert the data, first I will see are there any validation rules. Because if there are any validation rules, records may fail. Let me cross check what are the validation rules we have. PAN card format. No validation. Right, boss. So what are the fields we have? Go back to the customer. Customer name is a mandatory. Salary is a mandatory. Annual revenue is a mandatory. Okay, fine. Let me create data. I want to insert the data. When you want to insert the data, let us see what are the data we have. This is how I have created the data. I'm giving some data here. This is the data what I created. Now look at this object. Here I am creating one more extra field. Here I am creating one more extra field. I am creating one more extra field. In the customer, I am creating one extra field called number, customer unique ID. Now, There is an option here. What is this field? External. I created the field as what? External ID. I'll come back to the usage of this. Okay. Go back to the one more field. See in which format we have to save this file? I told data loader will save this file as what? CSV. You have to save this file as CSV. Go to this CSV, comma, delivery. We have created. Now, because I created one more extra field, what should I do? Log out, again log in. Because you created extra fields. Now, after logging into the data loader, you created extra field. So, what should I do? Again, re-log in. Now, choose the environment, production. I logged in. Once you logged in, what is the object in which you are trying to insert? Now, where is the source file? You are trying to insert the data. Where is the data available? The data is available. Where is the data loader? So, you got here customer. The file I have chosen. Now, the fields in the Excel sheet may be different. The fields in the table may be different. These are the fields what I have provided in the Excel sheet. But the fields in the table are, these are the fields. I might have given the same names, I might have given different names. So I told auto map. When you say auto map, the field names which are matching, they are mapped. The other fields which are not matching, they are kept. So this annual revenue is nothing but income. Whatever the income field I gave in the Excel sheet, there is nothing but annual revenue. Place. So here, places. This is how we map. When you say auto map, the fields which are mapped, they will be taken. The fields which are not mapped, we have to manually map it. The fields in Excel sheet will be different. The fields in the Salesforce are different. We need to map them. Once you mapped it, next. Where you want to get them? When you are inserting, some of the records may be success, some of the records may be failed. Then choose the location. Choose the location where you want the files. People have followed the point. Right. Now what happened? 3 records are successfully. So the 3 records what I created are successfully inserted. 1, 2, 3, the records are inserted successfully. I hope you are clear with this. I hope you are clear. Right. So what we have done? Insert. How do you insert? Click on insert. Choose the object. Choose the file. Next. Auto map. The remaining fields you map it, click on OK, finish. Records are going to be inserted successfully. Are you clear about this? Okay. Next, I want to update the same data. Whatever the record that you have inserted, same records I want to update. Whatever the records you have inserted, the same records I want to update. So how to update the data? Let us see this. In the customer object, new, place, city, type, mobile, active. I am going to add one more column here. You are trying to update the data. So I am taking customer update, the status. I modify. Now the data which is there in the database, I want to update. Now if you want to update, how does the Salesforce know that this is the record which you are trying to update? So if you want to update the data, it is a must that we have to provide a Salesforce record ID. If you provide the record ID, based on the record ID, Salesforce will identify, yes, this is the record of what they are trying to update. So whenever you are trying to update, what I need to do? Click on update, choose the object, where is the source file? Customer update. Next. Then create map, auto map. The fields are not mapping, manually map. Yes. Next. Then what happened? Three records are successfully updated. Are you getting my point here? So we are trying to update. When you are trying to update, what is the thumb rule we have to remember? What is the thumb rule we have to remember? The thumb rule that we have to remember is Salesforce record ID should be provided. If you don't provide a Salesforce record ID, it cannot update. If you want to perform an update operation, it is a must that we have to provide a record ID. Are you getting my point here? Right. Let us go to the next one. Upsell. When I say upsell, what happened? If you are giving any data, I am checking. If the data is already there in the Salesforce, update the record. If the data is not there, create the record. Suppose from this day I am getting a phone number. They are giving Satish. Okay, Kiran with the phone number 1234 inquired about Salesforce. Contact him. He gave me student data. Now what I will do? I will check whether this Kiran has made a call to me or not. If that phone number is already there in my database, what I will do? I will not recreate. If it is not there, I will recreate. Am I right or not? So what was that? If they are providing a data, if the data is already there in my database, I will update it. If the data is not there in my database, I will create it. When the data is there, why should I create duplicate copy? Are you getting my point? So what is this operation called? Upsell. Insert plus update. If the record is there, update. Record is not there, insert. Okay. Now the question is, you need to check whether the record is there or not. If the record is there, update. On what basis you are going to check that record is there? You have to check any one of the field, right? Okay. On what basis you are saying that the record is there? You are comparing with any one of the field. Let us see. Now I am a Salesforce. You are a Oracle. I have two systems, Salesforce and Oracle. Now what the Salesforce people are doing? Now there is a record 001. The 001 is 18 character ID. Let us assume that is a 18 character ID. So what the Salesforce is doing? Every day, night, it is sending this data to Oracle. What Salesforce is doing? Every day, night, it is sending the data to Oracle. If it is sending the data to Oracle, now the Oracle people have what? Salesforce record ID. The Oracle people know what is the Salesforce record ID. Now they are sending Satish. They are sending. Now Oracle people are sending record along with the Salesforce ID back. Now what the Salesforce will do? 001 existing, yes. Update the record with this data. Now both of them know Salesforce ID. Salesforce people are sending the data to Oracle. Oracle is modifying the data, again sending back the data to Salesforce. As the Salesforce is sending the data first, Salesforce record ID is already there with the Oracle. The same ID they are sending back. Based on that ID, I am finding that record is existing and updating. Are you getting my point? This is what? Two-way communication. Suppose it is only one-way communication. One-way communication means it is only one-way communication. Only Oracle is sending the data to SFDC. The Oracle will have Salesforce ID? I don't know, because if you send me the ID, then only I will know it. But the data is only going from Oracle to Salesforce. Now Oracle people know the Salesforce ID? They don't know. Then how does you check? How will you check whether data is existing or not? Are you getting my point? As when I don't know the Salesforce record ID, when I don't know the ID of the Salesforce, then how do you check whether record is existing or not? then what we do? We create one field as external ID field. We create a field as what? External ID field. Now, whichever the field I checked as external ID field, whichever the field I have created as external ID field, it will check the data based on the external ID. If the external ID is already there, update. If the external ID is not there, create. Are you getting my point? So, which field I can define as external ID field? Any one of the field whose data type is text, number, or email. Which field I can define as external ID field? Any one of the text field, any one of the number field, any one of the email field. Any one of the field whose data type is text, any one of the field whose data type is number, any one of the field whose data type is email, those fields I can verify. Which fields I can verify as? Which fields I can create as external ID field? Any field whose data type is text, number, email, we can create those fields as what? We can create those fields as what? External ID fields. We can create those fields as what? External ID fields. Okay. Now, if you have external ID fields, in the Salesforce, just now we created one of the field. What is the field? The CAD I create as what? External ID field. Okay. Now go back to the database. If I open external ID 1, 2, 3. Already in the Salesforce, I have 3 records with external ID called 1, 2, 3. I am getting one more record. Is external ID called external ID 5. 4 and 5 are not there. 1, 2, 3 is already there. 4 and 5 is not there. Six is also not there. Look at the structure. So 1, 2, 3 is already existing. 4, 5 is not existing. 6 I gave twice. 6 I gave twice. Now, if external ID is already existing, what will happen? If external ID is not existing, what will happen? But if the data source have 2 external IDs, if the data source have 2 records with the same external ID, what will happen? Are you getting my point? If external ID is already there, what will happen? If external ID is not there, what will happen? If 2 records have the same external ID, what will happen? Go back. What is the operation we have? Choose the object, browse the file. Next. Then they told based on what you want to check for the duplicate. You want to check the duplicate of the record. Based on which field you want to check? Based on ID or external ID? I told I want to check based on external ID. Map the fields. Next. What happened? 5 successful, 2 errors. What are the 5 successful records? 1, 2, 3, item updated because the records are already existing. 4, 5 are not existing, so what happened? Item and 6, 6 failed because duplicate external ID have provided twice. So it has failed. So if duplicate external ID is there in the source file, it will fail. If the ID is already existing in the database, it will update. If ID is not existing in the database, it will create. So what is this operation called? What is this operation called? Offset operation. If data is already existing, update, not existing, create. People have followed this? So what is the operation? Insert, update, offset. Now I am going for delete. I am going for delete. Customer, Choose the file. Next, map the file. Whenever you want to delete, what we need to provide? Salesforce record ID. If you want to delete, what I need to provide? Salesforce record ID. When you say delete, records are going to be deleted. Now the records which are deleted, will they be permanently deleted? No, they are not permanently deleted. They will go to recycling. So if you want to update or delete, what should I perform? What should I provide? Salesforce record ID I have to provide. When you want to perform update or delete, if you want to perform update or delete, what should I do? I have to provide Salesforce record ID. If you want to perform offset, I have to provide Salesforce ID or external ID. Which of the fields will be external ID fields? Text field, number field, email field. How many records I can update at a time? 5 million records. Now, am I providing all the records? I am not providing all the fields. I am only providing some of the fields. What about the remaining fields? What about the remaining fields? That's why in the settings I am saying insert null values. If I don't give insert null value, it will take blank. The fields which I am not entering, take those field values as null. The fields for which I am not providing the values, take those field values as null. So what did I do? Insert null values. I hope you are clear. The next step. Here we have. Look at the format. European date format. In the Salesforce, generally, when you export the data, what is the format in which they are exported? Year, month, day. When you export the data from Salesforce, what is the format in which they are exported? Year, month, day. But I want to take the data in the form of day, month, year. European format. European format is what? Date, month, year. When you are exporting the data, Salesforce is exporting the data in which format? Year, month, day. But I don't want the data to be in the year, month, day. I want the data to be entered in the form of day, month, year. Then what should I do? Select this option. If you select this option, we can enter the data in the form of day, month, year. Okay. Now, I told 5 million records will be supported by data load. All the 5 million records will be running at a time. All the 5 million records will not be running at a time. What the Salesforce will do, when you give, let us say 1000 records you give. You are trying to update 1000 records. When you are trying to insert 1000 records, what the Salesforce will do, it will break them into number of batches. You can give 1000 records, it will break them into number of batches. Each batch, when you are giving 1000 records and trying to insert or update, it will not insert at a time. What it will do? It will break them into number of batches. Each batch has how much size? 200. Now, what it will do? It will run the job. All these jobs will run at a time. At a time, what will happen, boss? All these jobs will be running at a time. So, what type of operation is this? Asynchronous operation. Why asynchronous? It is not like record 1, record 2, record 3, record 4, record 5. It is synchronous. Asynchronous is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at a time they are running. At a time, 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them are running parallelly. It is called as what? Asynchronous. Now what it is doing? It broke the data. To make it understandable, I will give it like this. When you give 1000, 1 to 200 records are here. 201 to 400 records are here. Like this we have. When you have the data like this, how the records are inserted? The records will be executed like this. It is not like that 1 to 200 is completed first, then 201 to 400, 401 to 600. It is not like this. All of them are going to run parallel. At a time, all the 5 jobs are running. Do you guarantee which order the records are inserted? I don't know. Because all of them are running parallelly, what happened? First record is inserted, then 201 is inserted, 601 is inserted, then 401 is inserted, 234 is inserted, 202. Because all of them are running what? Parallelly. When all of them are running parallelly, it is not the order. It's not that first 200 records are inserted, next 200 records are inserted. It's not like that. All of them are running what? Parallelly. All of them are running what? Parallelly. Are you getting my point there? Are you getting my point? All the batches are going to run parallelly. What type of operation is this? Asynchronous operation. Why? Because you are breaking them into number of batches, running all the batches parallelly. So it is what? Asynchronous operation. So what is the default size? 200. Every batch will have how many records? 200 records. Default size is what? 200. What is the default size? 200. Okay. If you want to take more size, then we have here. Use bulk API. When you say use bulk API, the size will increase to 2000. Instead of 200, it will take the size equal to what? 2000. Look at the format. What is the batch size? If I remove this, batch size is what? By default, what is the batch size? 200. If you say bulk API, what is the batch size? 2000. Are you getting my point? Now I told, run this like a bulk, but make it serial. Make it serial means what? First 2000 records, followed by next 2000 record, followed by next 2000. Don't run asynchronously, run synchronously. Synchronous means first batch completed, then go to second batch, then go to third batch. It is what? Serial mode. If you want to run the serial mode, are you clear about this? So what are the points you have seen? Insert null values, European date format, then we have seen bulk operation. Now, what is the time zone? When you log in, whoever is the user who logged in, his time zone will be taken. Whoever is the user who logged in, his time zone will be taken. If you give the time zone blank, system time zone will be taken. Right. Whoever is the user who logged into data loader, that user time zone will be taken. Whoever is the user who logged into data loader, his time zone will be taken into it. Right, boss? So, whose time zone? System time. Can you upload attachments also? Yes, we can upload attachments also. Can we upload attachments? Yes, we can upload attachments. Are you getting my point? Okay. Now the important points here. If the field has a lookup field, if the object has a lookup field, what should it? If the object has a master detail field, how do you upload the data? Lookup field and master detail field are going to take 18 character ID of the parent record. If there is a lookup field or a master detail field, what is the data I have to provide? 18 character ID of the parent record. If there is any lookup field or a master detail field, which data I have to provide? 18 character ID of the master record. 18 character ID of the master record. Right. If any one of the validation will fail, what will happen? Only that record will fail. Whenever we insert the data using a data loader, all the validation rules are verified, all the required fields are verified. Whenever we insert the data using a data loader, all the validation rules are verified, all the required fields are verified. Are you getting my point here? If the data is modified or updated or created using data loader, all the required fields are verified and validation rules are verified. Now the point here is, look at the point. If any one of the record fail, is the entire operation fail or only that record fails? Only that record fail. Why? Because data loader is running as non-atomic. Data loader is running as what? Non-atomic. When you say non-atomic, what does it mean? If any one of the record fails, only that record will fail, rest of the operation will continue. So what type of operation is this? Non-atomic. Data loader is what? Non-atomic. Let me give the points. First, what is the purpose of data loader? It will support 5 million records. We can insert, update, delete, offset 5 million records. Now, what is the size of the batch? 200. Maximum size? 2000. Is it a synchronous or asynchronous operation? It is asynchronous operation. Is it atomic or non-atomic? It is a non-atomic. Okay. When I insert the data, all the validation rules are verified or not? Yes. Required fields are well defined or not? Yes. If there is a lookup field or a master detail field, how do you provide the data? We have to provide 18 character ID of the record. Fine. Next. What is the format of the date we have to provide? Year, month, date. Year, month, date. If you want to take in the form of date, month, year, what should I do? Enable European format. The fields for which you are not entering the data, by default, what value is taken? Well, okay, by default, blank is taken. You want to take null? Enable the option. Is it okay? Enable the option. Whose time zone will be taken into account? Whose time zone is taken into account? User who logged into the data loader, his time zone is taken into account. In how many ways I can log in? Wait, what are those? Authentication and password. If it is a password, what should I do? Generate security token. How do you generate security token? Username, my settings, personal, reset security token, and security token. Now, what do you log in? Salesforce password plus security token. That's what I have given in the documentation. So, how to insert the record, how to update the record, how to delete the record, then how to perform the upsert operation, then insert null values, size is default size 200, minimum is 1, maximum is synchronous or asynchronous, atomic or non-atomic, European date format. Right. Next, data loader will not avoid duplicate records. If I insert Satish 123 Hyderabad, Satish 123 Hyderabad, how many times the record will be inserted? Twice. How many times the record will be inserted? Twice. Because it is not going to avoid duplicate records. Data loader will not avoid duplicate records. Next, can we schedule the operation? Like I want to schedule every Saturday at 4 o'clock, take the backup. Every Saturday at 10 o'clock, take the backup. Every month, first term, okay, reset all the values. Can you schedule the operation? Yes. We will schedule the operation using command line. We can schedule the operation using what? Command line. We can schedule the operation using what? Command line. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point here? Clear for everyone? Now when you perform an upset, if a duplicate IDs are there, what will happen? If you perform an upset, if duplicate IDs are there, what will happen? If duplicate IDs are there, both the records will fail. If the data what you are providing, if the data is already there in the database, what will happen? It will update. Right. If the data is not there in the database, what will happen? It will insert. It will insert. Which fields I can define as sectional ID field?